But I wanted to get to a bigger point. Because the time comes, somewhat pun intended, for us to take the gloves off when it comes to Jake Paul.
Loses a unanimous decision to Jake Paul in 2025. The fight has not even played out yet.
Fixing the fights. It's not fair. It's an embarrassment on boxing. He shouldn't be doing this. It's so embarrassing. He's fighting old men.
Stephen A. Smith calls out Jake Paul's fights as possibly fixed, blasting his trend of facing older opponents. Outraged, he insists it's time to remove the gloves both literally and metaphorically. Smith reminds viewers this isn't Jake's first time fighting someone far beyond his prime, pointing to Mike Tyson at 58. He calls such matchups both unsafe and morally wrong, accusing Jake of baiting retired fighters into the ring, using enormous paychecks, caring only about profit while putting aging boxers in harm's way.
These are the kind of things that I'm talking about here. Boxing's a skill. Let me give y'all an example. Remember Francis Ngannou? Remember that monster? That Nigerian nightmare? Remember him? And then we saw him show up and show a little skill against Tyson Fury, who came there out of shape. What happened when he got into the ring with Anthony Joshua? He got put to sleep, much in the same way Nate Robinson got put to sleep. Boxing is a skill. Jake Paul is a professional. He trains. At some point in time, I don't give a damn if it's a light heavyweight. Better be a Bivol, a super middleweight, Canelo, Mexican monster, David Benavidez, somebody that actually has a reputation.
Confusion spread quickly among fans during round 7 of Jake Paul's bout with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., when some noticed online platforms already showing Jake as the winner. This early display caused major concern about the fight's fairness. How could a website declare the result before the match ended? The strange timing fueled speculation of prearranged outcomes, reinforcing long-standing accusations of rigged fights. In Jake Paul's career, for those already skeptical, it didn't seem like a simple glitch. It felt like proof of something being manipulated behind closed doors.
As you are watching this video, Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez are currently right now in the 7th round of their fight. But when you go to Google and Google the fight, it gives an accurate breakdown of all their past fights. And then it comes to the current fight, and it says that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. loses a unanimous decision to Jake Paul in 2025. The fight has not even played out yet. Yet they're saying that this is the end results as they are fighting right now, currently as it stands. This leans testament to the fact that people state that Jake Paul has his fights fixed. What's your thoughts on this? This is nasty work. Unbelievable. This is Google. Google it yourself. Peace.
Many fans struggled to reconcile Julio's strangely passive effort with the strong reputation he once had. For much of the bout, he stood still, showing very little fire or forward pressure for someone so experienced. His lack of offense raised doubts. In the last 2 rounds, he finally began punching, but it felt more like he wanted to save pride than win. The term fake Paul began trending, implying Jake faced no real resistance and suggesting the bout looked more like a staged performance than a genuine athletic contest.
Under 40 in 6 months. And he's been off the El Chapitos. He's been off the El Mayo Zambada up his nose. So he's probably more like 48 adjusted. A 48-year-old man. Okay? There's numerous angles here, right? Was he paid not to throw punches? That's possible. Is he just 48 in La Coca years? That's also possible. What we know for a fact is, fake Paul's useless, honestly. He's properly useless. Chavez like this, just standing there. No pace. In the last few rounds he had a little bit of pace. Even then, fake Paul just clings on though. Fake Paul's, I've been saying this, fake Paul's got no inside at all. He's got no stand and let's have a look. Let's work here. If he's coming at me. He clings on for dear life. He kind of pushes his punches out. Slap, slap, slap. No, all this talk of power. These dudes, Chavez actually, he looked a bit smaller than fake Paul. Fake Paul's not a cruiserweight. He's a light heavyweight, honestly. He's so soft. He's got like these big rubber dinghy arms. Big rubber, soft. Chavez looked more like an athlete. But that'll be on, well, is Jake Paul going to fight anyone? They're already walking back the Zerdo situation. Oh, Zerdo don't sell. Well, we knew Zerdo didn't sell.
Fans on social media continue questioning the fight's legitimacy, with many saying something felt off and discussing it online. Skeptics point to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s passive style as suspicious, claiming the bout was fixed. One user tweeted, "Jake Paul fight clearly rigged. No way a real boxer sat there for 8 rounds barely throwing a punch. Then in the last 2 rounds he starts to box and looks fresh. No, you can't tell me nothing." They believe he was told to lose early and then act competitive late. These types of mismatches involving Jake Paul have become more common, drawing fans more for drama than sport. The rise of influencers in boxing generates huge attention, but many purists feel it's eroding boxing's true essence. Fights now often favor spectacle over competition. When someone like Chavez Jr. steps in, fans want a real contest, not a scripted event. Still, with attention comes controversy, which keeps these events relevant.
You felt like boxing's pretty rigged overall.
Oh, yes, rigged, dude. I mean, so many politics, even with, MMA, man, there's so many politics. There's no more art anymore. It's just, let's get an influencer in there. I get it. It's like generating money because our attention span is so short. You look at clips now, it's like 7 seconds. I saw a dude slamming a lady the other day and they were like, oh my God, that dude is, I'm like, well, what the do? I'm just going to pick somebody and slam them. Where's the whole video? And our attention span is just so small. So money talks, of course. Yeah, let's get an influencer in there who has no style, but it draws attention. It's just dumb to me.
There's another viewpoint sparking heated debate. Some argue this wasn't rigged at all, but simply about the money. Julio's measly punch count, just 13, suggests to many that he didn't prepare properly. To them, it wasn't fixed, it was a cash grab. Critics say Julio's father should have stepped in to preserve their legacy. Accepting the fight under such circumstances felt more like a payday than a genuine test. And for many fans, it became a source of embarrassment and regret.
Results, a couple of shocking results. I think that Jake Paul undercards and the promotional arm of his brand, I think, is the most fun part of what Jake Paul brings to boxing. Honestly, I think long term, I think that's what we can hold hope for. Because Jake's fights are, this one was borderline atrocious, and kind of the writing was on the wall. But I gotta admit, even I bought drank the Kool-Aid, and mainly I drank the Kool-Aid because Chavez Sr., who also is disgraceful for doing this, made me believe, and I think, this has been the problem with Chavez Jr. He's been enabled constantly by the media, the promoters, his family, and all this other stuff. So he never really shows up prepared. He never cares and just shows up to get paid and basically steals the bag every single time. And he did it tonight again. The reason I actually thought this fight had a chance was because Chavez Sr. Guaranteed us that his son was motivated and was having a training camp. So as much of a Hall of Fame career as the father had, he's the con artist, I guess, must run in the family, because Junior's been a con artist his whole career, but at least he's been enabled through it, But now the father doing this, I mean, you knew already your son wasn't going to be ready. You put your own reputation on the line and sold us this crap. And then ultimately your son throws what most guys will throw in a round. He throws it through 10 rounds. It was actually kind of really insane.
Jake Paul has firmly denied all rigging claims, especially about his highly anticipated fight with Mike Tyson. He calls such accusations baseless, saying they're driven by jealousy or doubt in his rise. According to Jake, critics call every major fight fixed to diminish his hard work. Still, most of his opponents have been retired or inactive, so fans remain skeptical. The Tyson matchup has only intensified these suspicions, thanks to Jake's ongoing pattern of controversial fights and unconventional opponent selection.
After I beat Mike Tyson, the amount of people saying this is rigged was crazy. They showed this clip of Mike Tyson going to swing at me with a left hook, and he stopped doing it, but saw I had my right hand up. So he would have swung like this. I catch it and shoot. He's leaning forward I could have knocked him out. So that's why he stopped throwing it. And it's they play this one clip and it has literally 50 million views on TikTok, but the average person doesn't understand boxing.
Boxing coach and former Olympian Tony Jeff gave his take. suggesting people are quick to cry fix when they simply don't like Jake's victories. Jeff acknowledged that most of Jake's wins came against older or less dangerous foes. So, while not defending Jake's boxing skills, he criticized how quickly fans label matches as fake. He pointed out that beating weak opponents doesn't always equal rigging. That alone, he said, isn't enough to claim that every single fight Jake has won was staged.
You might be raging and saying, but he's fixing the fights. It's not fair. It's an embarrassment on boxing. He shouldn't be doing this. It's so embarrassing. He's fighting old men. Well, is it a fix? No, mate. It's not a fix. Is Julius Caesar Chavez past his best? Yes. Was Mike Tyson past his best? Absolutely, mate. Now, if you look at all of the great fighters, look at all of the records, and you can go on BoxRec and see this, you'll see that they are fighting either one of two people. Either a person who's a journeyman, who's coming in there just to lose and give the fighter their experience, or they'll be fighting someone who might have been a former champion who is now past it. And finding these right opponents is key for the development of any fighter, not just someone like Jake Paul, but any fighter. Now, with Jake, because he's got so much attention on him, people are seeing this. Whereas normally, fighters are not even live on TV until they've had X amount of fights. If you look at someone like Floyd Mayweather, look, we fought in his 4th pro fight, or even his 10th pro fight. Some of these fights will not be on TV. And now Jake is on TV and he's fighting former world champions, which he's fought a few now. I think everyone should give him respect now as a fighter. Fighting someone like that and putting so much pressure on himself as well. Now, do I think that fight and other fights was rigged? Absolutely not. I think that Jake is very smart. He's picking the right fights, but at the same time, he's developed as a very good fighter now. There's no denying that he is a very good fighter now. Yes, he did lose that one fight to Tommy Fury by, was it a split decision?
Despite harsh criticism, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. maintains that his boxing career is far from over. He called this fight a setback, not a stopping point, but fans doubt his seriousness. How does someone who barely threw punches still call themselves a contender? His comments after the match did little to reassure the public. Critics feel he failed to take responsibility, and that his effort disappointed many young fighters who once looked up to him. His performance left fans questioning his will to continue.
Well, what was difficult to do in the fight tonight that you wanted to do, but you couldn't?
Our confidence, first round, and come forward. I think when I'm like back, it's not good for me. So if I'm fighting like again, like I doing this. So take the punches, but come forward and try to be more inside, because when I see him inside, his punches don't have the same power. So I think I doing a mistake in these things, like fight a distance.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna ask. I kept asking myself, why isn't he working on the inside, throwing body shots, hook, upper, you know?
Yes. So maybe more fights, a little more confidence. I need it, like more confidence.
Jake Paul's match with Chavez isn't the first to be labeled fake. He has a pattern of organizing bouts that seem more like TV drama than sport. Fans have noticed this trend: older foes, easier victories, bigger headlines. The Tyson fight has only fueled the belief, with some already calling it a publicity act, not a serious challenge. While Jake is skilled at capturing attention, that same gift keeps raising doubts. Many still question whether he's truly building a boxing legacy or just putting on a show.
More important and quite serious news in the combat sports world. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, it's come out now. It was rigged. I can't believe it. You know, you have to question the validity of boxing these days when you can't trust two professionals to get in the ring and do their best against each other. And instead you find out Mike Tyson pulling his punches, not trying to hurt Jake Paul. Absolute disgrace. I thought better of them.
Allegations surrounding the Tyson match include troubling rumors, claims of scripts, dictating fighter behavior inside the ring, from specific punches to dramatic pauses. Insiders allege the fight might include choreographed sequences, increasing suspicions. Reports even said Tyson could be fined if he knocks Jake out too early. If these details are accurate, it suggests the match was structured to protect Jake's safety and image. Such conditions blur the line between performance and sport, further fueling controversy about whether this was competition or controlled entertainment.
Y'all already know I'm mad about this fight. I really wasn't even going to talk about it because I already felt like it was a setup. But when Trick Daddy Dollars posted this on Instagram, it really just confirmed and solidified everything. So, Trick Daddy Dollars posted this on Instagram, and I'm going to read it to social media. So, it says the rules for the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight are designed to favor Jake Paul. These include: the rules are extremely favorable to Jake Paul. The contract will incentivize Mike Tyson to lose and give Jake Paul an opportunity to choose himself as a winner. The first stipulation in the contract will punish Tyson for knocking out Jake because he is paid on a sliding scale per round. If Tyson knocks Jake out in the first round, he would receive no money. If he knocks him out in the second round, he would only make a small amount of cash. For Tyson to make the most money, he needs to survive all 8 rounds, which means avoiding knocking Jake Paul out. If the fight goes to a split decision, it favors Jake Paul because the judges have to be approved by Jake Paul. I'm gonna let y'all read.
Accusations like this are now a regular part of Jake Paul's boxing career. Many fans think he pays opponents not just to fight, but to make sure he comes out looking good. These claims don't come from nowhere, they're based on repeated patterns, low punch totals, strange outcomes, and few knockdowns. After beating Julio, Jake jumped into the cruiserweight top 15, which surprised many given the lack of resistance. To critics, it felt more like a publicity stunt than a hard-earned boxing victory.
Then you want us to respect Jake Paul as a fighter, but how you want me to respect this man as a boxer and he basically pays his opponents to lose? The culture didn't want to see that. All the 80s babies and people born in earlier time did not want to see that fight. And I think if I knew these rules, which I believe these rules make a lot of sense to why Mike Tyson really didn't fuck him up. And it's like, why do you think people want to continue to watch a Jake Paul fight when every time it's going to always be in his favor because people are paid to lose? Nah, respectfully, that's not real boxing. That's not real fighting. I'm sorry. And I know for Tyson, he's retired anyway. He's still the champ. This fight didn't mean anything, but it meant everything for Mike Tyson. Yes. And I'm just like, I'm disappointed. And I wasn't even going to come on social media. But like I said, once I saw Trick Daddy post that, I was like.
Observers said Julio's body language and effort felt unnatural. The few punches he landed lacked power and urgency, seeming slow and forced. He looked like someone playing a role, not fighting. At bizarre behaviors like glove biting and suspicions rose. The fight felt staged, not real. Some say Jake's performance was legit, but many won't accept it. They claim fans avoid facing the truth. Jake might be doing better than expected. Rather than credit him, people create stories to discredit his work. Despite backlash, others like Adam Smith see Jake's rise as revolutionary. From YouTuber to prize fighter, his journey stands out, even with constant drama. Jake knows how to capture attention. His evolution into a boxing brand is a modern tale of influence, media, and business. Whether he's real or fake, Jake Paul changed the game.
I mean, if he does, it's going to be one of the great stories of this generation, isn't it? They start off as YouTubers, influencers, I love working with Logan Paul and KSI when we did that fight together. It was sort of start of it. My kids love what they've done. The whole Misfits thing. Look. Yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm a hardcore boxing fan, and that European title fight doesn't get any better. But Jake Paul has millions and millions of followers.